Hey guys, welcome to this process video of my King human chess piece. This piece was the last piece to be done in my human chess set, which I ran through my Patreon. You'll be able to find links to my Patreon in the description of the video. Obviously, if you want to download this and print it off for yourself. The results I've seen so far are pretty amazing. So if you want to create your own fantasy chess piece models and play chess with custom pieces, this set will be completely up your alley. I just wanted to make a video walkthrough tutorial thing, basically me going through the steps I go through to create these pieces, and maybe if you was inspired to do this sort of thing, mission accomplished basically. So I'm just going to get into it. This video was basically live streamed. I streamed the whole thing. There weren't any real breaks. It was, I think the main video was about 8 hours long. Obviously with a few breaks in between. I did obviously let my dogs out and feed my dogs and feed myself. The whole thing crashed a few times as well, which is why you see random skips. So this video is going to be in 30-minute segments. I think that the footage sped up by ×4 is about an hour and a half, so I think 3 parts would be manageable for people who watch for less than an hour. But obviously these things take time, and if you want to watch the whole thing, you're obviously going to have to invest a little bit more time. So I'm going to talk about what I'm doing in the video, and as you can see, quite a bit's happened so far, but it's mainly just the basic shapes. At the moment, I'm just blocking things in, and at the moment I'm getting the crown in, getting the tip of the crown in. All these things are basically there to give me the basis to work on the next part. So it's things that are in proportion to each other. When you're working from concept art, it's important to obviously have things which correspond to different things. So like the crown, the rim comes down to the brows, the hair comes just midway the beard, and the whole point of blocking things in is to get these proportions down as early as possible, really. So as you can see, I'm quickly going through and doing all this. I'm using the move tools and just moving things down, using the snake hook brushes, which I like to use more than the actual move brush. Using the inflate brushes to bring in or bring out some of the bits that are maybe a bit too flat and just give me that rough. It's an inflate. It's a rough inflate. Going through and using the trim dynamic brushes to flatten things out. What else do I use? I use the mask tools. At the moment, you just saw that I use the clip tool to basically just bring in the where the breastplate would be and where his cape is. Basically just bringing the shoulders in to match what the concept looks like, and obviously it gives me it gives me a step to work from. So I take these models quite seriously, so I want them to look as good as possible, but at the same time I don't want to spend a long time doing them. I mean, I'm the sort of person that can't really work on a project for more than probably a couple of days, which is why doing these sorts of things are probably the best things for me, really. 3D printable stuff is easy to do from somebody who's got my background. Like I come from games. I've worked with clients in the past, and I've been working on projects for months, and never really come to much fruition. But these, as you can see there, you saw me isolate the body, and you saw obviously he's got a really weak chin. The head's like not the right shape it should be, and you can see me here. I'm moving these things back into place, creating all these landmarks that I need to create to. It's unnecessary, but it makes me feel better about it, I think, at this point. Then you've got basically making the shapes of the face stand out more. So like I'm cutting into the shapes using the trim, dam standard brushes, the Orbs Crack brush, which is not actually default inside ZBrush. You have to download that one externally. I don't know what else. Yeah, you obviously see me move away the lips. You don't actually need the lips because obviously the beard is covering it. But again, I put it in just for the landmarks. I've got an extensive background in sculpting faces, so these faces might actually come together a lot faster than probably what some of you might be used to. Again, it's not a perfect face, but again, I'm not bothered about making the face perfect as he's got so much detail and so much going on really with the model itself. So it's just really to show the bits that are visible. I'm working these up and making sure that they stand out best. Yeah, nothing really much else to say about that really. I mean, I'm just working up these shapes, pulling out these shapes, redefining the shapes, making sure that they read from a 3D printable scale, which these are actually printed a lot bigger than what normal chess pieces are printed out because they are show pieces. I wanted them to have a larger scale just simply because of the amount of detail that I want to put in them. So you can see me here bringing in the collarbones, again unnecessary for the actual piece itself, redefining the top of the head because I'm unhappy about it. It's a lot of personal choices. If I was obviously doing these for clients and they wanted them a lot faster, then you know nobody wants these sort of things faster than a day. But you know, I probably wouldn't bother with all this stuff. But it doesn't take a couple of seconds to move things around and get the shapes that you want. So I've just appended a sphere, and I'm about to create the breastplate, I think. Yeah, so the breastplate's going in now, and then obviously I think oh, we're taking a break there. Don't know what's happening. Somebody's talking to me. Oh no, somebody was complaining about my mic. So these videos were live streamed, so I was actually talking and there was music playing over the actual video footage before. The video is sped up by ×4. You can see me in the corner. I did cut a few things out, mainly because I was answering questions and doing mini tutorials inside the stream as well. If you want to come and see the stream, you know that I've got a Twitch channel. Titan Troll Miniatures is my handle, I believe, with a hyphen. Not a hyphen. What's the bottom slash thing called? It's underscore. I've got an underscore. Titan Troll underscore Miniatures. That's my handle, I believe. Oh yeah, it's at the top. You can see it. I can see this. Yep, so I am now working in the cape, or the cloak, making sure that again is following the folds roughly. I'll go back to that later, I think. And I'm blocking in the fur of the edge of the cloak, the fur on the cloak is what I was doing there. So again, perfectionist that I am, I go back and work in the face, start working in some of the hair, and yeah, really this is the process for now. Getting all these shapes in, making sure that they're all readable. The model really doesn't look much right now, but you know, once we start getting everything in there, it starts looking a lot better. So that's the rim. That's the collar thing of the cloak, so that's the bit at the front with the intricate pattern on it. We work that up a little bit later. Here, this is like, I think this is the first cut that I make in the video. I'm sculpting. Oh, you can see my dog there. Show my little dog off, little Patterdale Terrier, Nero. Had to keep him in the video, of course. So yeah, I'm making some ruffles, I think they're ruffles, and you saw me draw these things out just above the breastplate, and this is a cut. I don't know why it's still showing this, maybe I missed it, but this is not the way to do it. I realise this isn't going particularly well, so I start stalling and I'm moving things around. I don't know what to do, I'm thinking. And then I think I take it into Maya. Well, I do take it into Maya. And I try and make something in there, and then realise I'm just wasting my time, everybody's disappointed in me, so I just try and re-sculpt it again. This should have all been cut, so just pay no attention to past Dave is a moron. What are you doing? Stop it. So you can see the king's wife, the queen, briefly on the screen for a moment. This is basically me taking a plane and Maya extruding it and trying to make these ruffles. But then I'm thinking, what am I doing? You can see on my face, I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm thinking. But this is part of the process, this is what happens. We take things to different programs, think we can improve them better, and it turns out that we can't, so we move them back into ZBrush eventually. Yeah. This is actually an issue as well. When I was streaming, I had the wrong screen open, and you can see in the background I am doing things, and Maya on top is still there. One of my guys tell me this eventually. Just waiting for that. Come on, Dave. Realise. He realised. See his face. Oh, no, he didn't realise. Okay, he's a moron. Yep, he realised. Is my screen frozen? No, your screen wasn't frozen. But basically, I made a shape inside ZBrush, and I was just working up the ruffles inside ZBrush. Nothing serious has really gone on before this point. I literally just drew in the shapes, and I'm redefining the edges. Yeah. So again, nothing major, just really brute forcing this and trying to make it look like it does on the concept. So I'm start drawing in the shapes of the folds and the ruff. Just really curving these around. There's no real quick way of doing this. It's just draw them in with the Orbs Crack brush in alt menu at the alt tool, so it's like inverted. I take a quick sip of my coffee, and we carry on. So as I said, it's just brute forcing these folds, making sure that it all goes together. Using the standard brush to dig in and also dig out, so the folds that I make, trying to keep them as neat as possible, but also knowing that they pinch. So obviously in the middle they pinch, and really trying to get the sculpt to reflect that information is vital to the success of the sculpt, I guess. Again, at the scale, it's readable. Everything's readable at miniature scale. You can do anything. There's people living proof that you can do anything and still be successful, unfortunately. So I think we're pretty much done with the rough. We're about to wrap it up, I think, and then we start to work on the collar, I think, the bit that comes just above the ruff, to really send that little part home. Just trying to make sure that everything is working how I want it to work. Yeah, so this is a part inside this is a part inside the stream where I was pretty much showing people where I was from. They were asking where I was from. I don't know why I didn't clip this. I didn't see it, unfortunately. So this is a fella called Devo. He's a chav, but obviously it's a caricature of a chav. It's he's not actually like that. So yeah, back to the sculpt. I just brought in the collar thing, and I'm z-remeshing the rough that I made to make it smoother and correct the topology of the model to make it easier to work with, I believe. I do this with a lot of pieces. That's why the z-remesh is actually at the bottom of the tag. Yep, that's it. So we're working in the bigger shapes of the... Have we crashed? What's going on? We're working in the bigger shapes of the... Why is... my footage is crashing while I'm talking over it. That's not good, is it? How am I supposed to see what I'm doing if it's crashing? Right, so the... What am I doing now? So I'm doing the... Oh, it's sped up loads now. What the hell's going on? So I'm doing the... Oh, I'm back to the collar again. I'm doing the collar. It's going ridiculously fast now, for some reason. You might be seeing something completely different to what I'm talking over right now. Yeah, but I'm working up the shapes and really sending this rough home. You can see like it looks well more defined now. I've z-remeshed it and subdivided it, and I've gone back and I've added in some, a lot of the really sharp edges, and just really sending that shape home. Oh, taking my jacket off because I'm a bit warm. And we're back to the roof. So bits like this, they take a lot of time to get right, but when you do get them right, they actually do look really good. This piece in particular might not look particularly good, as I'm not that good with folds and stuff. But the more time you spend on something, naturally, the better it will look in the end. You just need to really persevere with things and send all these designs home, I guess. So for this, I'm using the damn standard brush, I'm using the clay brush, I'm using the standard brush, the pinch brush to squeeze in some of these shapes. Clay brush, I think I've already said that. Smooth peaks, I think I was using then. I think that was an accident. I think I was just using smooth, but it switched over to smooth peaks by accident, maybe. And we unisolate, move things around, and I think we've already brought in the rims of the crown. And they're clipping the back, making sure that the back is flowing nice, redefining some of these bigger shapes inside the fur. Again, we're not really sculpting the fur at the moment. I think we're just thinking about what to do next, really. We're just bringing some of these rough shapes in. Again, just single strokes with purpose. I think anything that you sculpt with purpose just seems to look a lot better than things that you're trying to meticulously sculpt, accurately. I think the rough approach is very, very easy to do, and probably the best because it looks the most natural. Instead of trying to be really specific with your strokes and draw in each individual fur strand, which sometimes I do, but it's all the same process. You sculpt in a big piece and then you go in and sculpt smaller pieces, and they have varying direction. And I think that's the thing that helps the most in terms of sculpting things like fur. So there you can see I'm just overlaying my concept. I've realised that the crown is completely out of proportion, so I'm moving this around. This is the next thing I'll work on, I think. So I'm moving the crown tip down. He's got like a little nugget on the top of his crown. Really trying to get the shapes right, making the crown come lower to the brow, and the rim of the crown is, it's squeezing down on the hair. So I start sculpting in the hair, a bit more defined. So I start doing the strands, making sure that it's all flowing. Again, it's nothing serious, nothing time consuming, it's just rough. Just for now while we get the bits of the crown in. But we're also obviously working in these individual strands and it already looks pretty good. I think I smooth it out a few times and I retry it. But that's not an issue. I mean, it takes a minute or two to actually do the whole hair, so it didn't really bother me too much. Full grooms are obviously, they take a lot more time. But we're going back to the eye. We're always moving back to the bits that we've done before because we want to redefine them and make them work at different scales, which is always helpful. Yep, so again, this is stuff that we're only seeing because it's behind, or it's just underneath the hair. But in actual fact, all this will be in shadow. So like when obviously you print this out, or when somebody prints this out, you can't actually see all the stuff, you know, behind the chin and whatnot. So as you can see, I just moved in and resculpted the hair, just redefining them shapes, just making sure that the flow is right. Obviously I made a dog's dinner of the initial sculpt and I wasn't happy with it, so I just redid it again. Moving back to the eyes, putting some of these micro creases in that don't really matter at the scale. Again, he looks awful without his beard, but he's got a beard, so it's fine. Time allocation for these is pretty much, if it looks good at scale, don't really matter. Not really sure what I'm doing here. I think I'm about to model the the bits of the crown. So I dynamesh the model inside ZBrush and I bring it into Maya using GoZ, and this is where we are now. So I load up my image plane and overlay it as best I can. Mine's obviously symmetrical. This is posed slightly to the left. That's not a problem. We'll still get the same information, really. So all I'm doing here is just making the prongs, I want to say. Prongs of the crown. Shaping it inside Maya. Adding all these extra subdivisions to give it the shape it's got, I guess. We're having an issue with the layers, so we'll just change that up, change that away. We extrude to get the rim of the crown prong thing. Renaming it because we had an issue with renaming. And we divided it. That's why I'm doing this. We divided it and we brought it across to the bit next to it. And also we've just added some subdivisions down the middle because we're going to bend it, and we're going to bend it inside Maya. We do this basically. We add the subdivisions because if we didn't bend it, there'd be no definition in the middle of the model to actually bend, so it will cause issues on straight lines and facets and things like that. So at the moment we're just extruding things out, giving it some thickness, give out the thickness of the rim that we already made. Again, just making these out, making sure they're level with each other, and then we bend. And once we've bend, we need to put it into place and make sure the curvature's right. And we're crashing again. Yeah, so we're moving these parts in place. So the center of the crown. This is a bad idea. Don't do this because I realized after the fact that my model was not central, mainly due to this. So I was doing math there. I was doing math and I realized that it was really simple. It was 45, I think, to get 8 crowns. 45, yeah. So again, these look out of scale at the moment, but obviously they're just there for now. I'm moving them around, making sure that they're the right scale, changing the shape as best I can. Something really weird happened. I'm not sure how it happened, but they duplicated within each other, and they also flipped. So there was bits inside each other, bits that were stuck to like other parts, and when I tried to delete them, it deleted another one. I tried to mirror something across, it made like 10 of them. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it happened. And I visibly get frustrated in the video, I think. So I'm just not really understanding what's happening. So I just start deleting things and remirroring things and trying to figure out what's going on. But yeah, as you saw in the chat, this is pretty much 2 hours into the video. So you can get this sort of information down in 2 hours. Most of the time actually took was the base and redefining the model. I crashed a couple of times as well, which obviously takes time off you. You can sculpt something, finish something, and then ZBrush decides, nope, sorry, we're off for the night. So yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on. Oh, I think I imported it inside ZBrush again and didn't switch my screen over, so there we go. So all I did there was just sent the model over from ZBrush using from Maya using GoZ to Maya, and it brought over what we made basically. So I think this is a good place to actually leave it. So I'm gonna leave this here, and I'm gonna post up the second part of this tutorial video thing. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.